money and the connections you make and everything, but I feel it's a very in-depth experience, because you get to also grow, not only as an actor but as a person, because you will meet so many different people. You will get to do so many different roles that will make you view people differently. Like when you're told to do a role about a student who's a drug addict and something, you're able to learn through that character. So for me, I call it a beautiful experience, because you get to learn so much about yourself also. You get to know your likes and your dislikes, because when you do a character that is totally not you, you get to even understand yourself more, that if I was Mwende, I would never do what so-and-so did, or what so-and-so's like other character that's in the scene did.
Now, so far in your experience, because you're saying it's a beautiful experience, it has been a beautiful experience so far.
Yeah.
What probably film have you featured in?
Oh, I've actually done a TV series. I've done 2 seasons TV series. It's called Salem.
Okay.
I've done an episode at Njorwa Uba. I've also taken part in some documentaries that are soon to air. I've also done theater, but because you've asked about screen,
yeah, you can talk about
I've also done a show at Kenya National Theatre. I've also done one at Ukumbi Mdogo, and at times I also direct young girls.
It's interesting. Yeah. We'll talk about you directing the young girls, because it's a noble thing to do.
Yeah.
Now, pick 2 things: Salem and Njorwa Uba. I mean, those are household names in terms of what people give us reviews in terms of what they've watched, what they like, especially Salem. Now, take us through your role in Salem.
Malaika, she's a 15-year-old girl. I think by the time season 2 was ending, she was, I think, 16. Yeah, so she's a 15-year-old girl. She had a very weird childhood. Like, she didn't have siblings. Her mom is the least liked daughter, because she reminds the grandmother about the grandfather. My dad is not an established, lack of a better word, my dad is not an established man in the society. He doesn't have a proper job. He still lives with his wife, and they live in my grandmother's place. That's a bit messy.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're not that well off. We still fully depend on our grandmom. So yeah, she's an innocent girl. She's a bubbly girl. She's the one who carries everyone's cross. Like, when someone has a problem, she's so quick to, wanting to help. She loves people. She's understanding. She's a problem solver. Yeah, and she's very courageous, and she's smart.
Now, there's the good side of, acting and all that, and being engaged in or involved in such a big act, I'd say. In all those, in Salem, Njorwa Uba, to be specific, the 2. I mean, in terms of experience and challenges that you've faced, in the industry, not only just as a young actor, but in general, challenges that are in the field. Yeah. What would you really deem as a challenge that you experienced in those two films?
Pressure. I feel like, especially for Salem, it had a lot of, how we call them, gurus, like the likes of Foe Wamboi, the likes of Brian Kabugi, the likes of Jackie Matubia, the likes of Melvin Alusa, the likes of the late Charles, may he rest in peace, the likes of Jackie Kafoi, Audi Roa, like Karen G here, like the likes of very, those names.
The household names.
So there was a lot of pressure, especially like the first days I'd be on set, because our first Zara was Mumbi Minor. You're on set, you're with Mumbi Minor, you're like, you just have to be perfect. You don't have to look odd. Like, people don't have to watch you and be like, we can tell, like, there's a difference between her and the other actors. So there was a lot of pressure, whereby even at times I'd have a difficult time getting my lines, because I'm really thinking a lot. Like, I'm focusing on wanting to be perfect. I'm not even like letting myself go through the process and be in the moment.
So how do you absorb that pressure and, you know, turn it into getting yourself some sort of confidence to move forward?
I used my directors. Like, at times when I feel like I'm overthinking about a scene, I'd approach any of my directors and I'll just be like, like, this is what the scene is about, and I feel like I want to do this and this and this and this, and then tell me, that's not necessary, like, relax. I'll want to have you move there, then sit, you're done. Or I'd want you to deliver the line there, deliver the line here, you're done. So at times I would seek comfort from my directors and also my fellow actors, because being in a long-term show, you create bonds with people and they become more of your friends than your colleagues. So I'd also like seek comfort from my fellow actors, and I'd ask them and I'd be like, I feel like I don't want to let you guys down. I feel like I need to, give my all for this scene, and then tell me, like, from the experience, what they'd expect me to do. And when I do it, I feel, this is what I was supposed to do. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting because you're an actor, right? I'm interested to know, whatever you're undertaking in school, the course that you're undertaking, is it related to whatever you're doing in terms of acting?
Yes, it is. I do film technology and performing arts. Yes.
The reason as to why I ask that is that you'll find, probably a student out there pursuing, let's say, for example, a course in computer science, but they have passion for something different. So I probably thought, because you had passion for it, you said, as much as I'm doing this course, I'll still, go for what I love. But again, I mean, for girls out there who aspire to be in the film industry, what would you tell them? Because there are many, I don't want to say millions, but probably thousands here in the country who want to be in the industry, but they've not gotten that opportunity. So for you, who's been there, you're there already, what do you tell them?
I tell them to start. Just start. Do it scared. That's what I always say. Do it scared. As much as you might not know who to approach or who to ask to get the gigs and to know about the auditions. What I mean by saying you start, I mean just pick your phone one day, record yourself doing a monologue. I think because right now we are all we can all access social media. So record yourself shooting a monologue and then just post it. And post. As much as you might feel like there's no one who is seeing what you're doing, you're sharpening your skills. You are way better than someone who's just seated at home and is waiting for that one call. So you doing those monologues, you are actually sharpening your skills to the point that if a casting director sees one of your fast monologues, they'll just be like, but you've grown. You have so much talent. So yeah, I'd advise them to start. Just start.
Interesting, because I was speaking to one of the top journalists here in the country, and he told me at some point in time he had not pursued journalism, so he really had passion for it. So he had to do videos and post them. Did that for 6 through to 10, 12 months, a year. Went by. It felt like nobody's noticing what I'm doing. But a few months later, got a call from one of the big names in the country and told him, hey, I've seen your clips, you can do really good, so come in by or drop by, we talk about this. And right now he's working for one of the big TVs here in the country. Now, before we shift gears to matters modeling, I mean, the industry in itself, in terms of film and all that and acting, how do you rate the industry in itself? And probably, do you feel like more can be done to enhance the industry, or lift the industry, take it to the next level, because there are millions of people out there who are interested in this particular field.
Yeah, I feel like more can be done, because I like the way right now, if you look at even the shows that are premiering, the new shows, be it Showmax, be it Netflix, and it's Kenyan based, you can see a lot of new faces. And that's a good thing, because we were used to seeing the same faces all over and over again. But now the young people have woken up and they've decided, like, we want to take up the space in this industry. So I feel like they need to do more, matters to do, like, for example, like the guild, they need to follow up more on things like how actors are being treated on set, be it a main actor, a supporting actor, an extra. They're all actors. When they all come up together, they come up to bring up a scene. Without that extra, without that main, without that supporting, there's no scene. So I feel like they need to investigate more about how actors are being treated on set, about how crew also, how they're being treated on set, because they're also part of the whole thing. Without crew, there'll be no show.
Exactly.
So yeah, because if we take care of the people who bring these shows to life, there would be more beautiful shows. And then I feel like also encouragement from the people who've been in the industry for long. I feel like they should also really encourage the young ones, and they should also like share their knowledge by having more master classes, by sharing more on their pages. Yeah.
Now let's shift gears to modeling, and it's inspiring what you're talking about, and it's powerful because there's that need to ensure that the actors and everybody that works to have such shows produced and eventually on the screens, they go through a lot, and they need proper support, including mental support as well, because it's a key issue. Now, the modeling part of Mwende Kingori, talk to us about it. Brands you've worked with, maybe?
Well, the modeling part, as you can see, it's commercial modeling.
Yes.
I have done adverts. I've done one for Safaricom, I have done one for Brookside, I have done one for Top Right. I forgot that one. But yeah, the modeling part is just taking part in adverts. Yeah, and for brands, I haven't like fully worked with any brands professionally per se, but there's one clothesline that I market for. It's called Crafted XIV. Yeah, they make like tea dresses, they make t-shirts. Yeah.
Talk to them. Our viewers can promote you as well.
Yes. They're called Crafted XIV. Yes, they make very beautiful shirts, very beautiful tea dresses, all colors, and even the material, it's lovely. It's a very lovely material.
Where can they find them? On Instagram?
On Instagram, yes. The page on Instagram is Crafted XIV. Or they can go to my page. I have a reel there. I have a highlight about them.
What's your page?
Yeah, on my page, Mwende Kingori, there's a highlight that's just for Crafted XIV.
Now, one thing that everybody talks about when it comes to you working professionally is the pay. I'm not asking you to divulge much about the pay and how much you get paid, but is it an industry that someone can get into and be able to cater for themselves and cater for their needs in terms of the monetary gains that you get from it?
The modeling,
both,
or even the acting. Okay.
Especially here in the country, because we know outside there, people are minting good money.
Okay, for here in the country, I advise people to have something else that they're doing, because where our industry has reached, it has not yet reached to a point where you can like do one job and stay a whole 2 years without doing any other job. that's why you'll see even these known actors, they'll still do very many projects. In a year, you'd find them doing like 3 projects, 2 projects, 4 projects, because you cannot survive like with only one.
Before you continue, I think I'm just guilty as charged, because sometimes we tend to, you see someone and you're like, oh, bado anafanya nini?
Yeah, you see, yeah. So if the industry had reached a point where someone can like do 1 gig and stay out of the game for like 3 years, then you would not see these faces all the time. But the reason as to why you're seeing these faces all the time is because I don't think we've reached a place where you'd ever meet an actor who'd tell you, I did 1 big gig and I stopped. They're always doing other gigs.
It's not like, you know, something like athletics or football, you can do it for a month and you're like, I'm good now, I can rest.
I'm done.
So it also, you know, gives the vibe of more should be done in terms of investment into the industry.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Even as we come to the tail end of this particular conversation, talk to us about, you know, projects that you're working on.
Currently.
Yes.
So currently I am.
Even in, you know, in the future.
Okay, so currently I am doing a show. It's called What We Have, What We Want. It's more of traveling theater. It's a set of monologues that are about sexual reproductive health. And yeah, we actually have a show this month, 29th June. You should come at Sarakasi Dome. It's free. You just need to reserve. And yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, because it's traveling. I've not been able to do anything else because I was recently in Nakuru. I think last week Batwana, I was in Kisumu. Now we've brought it to Nairobi, and we'll also take it to Mombasa and Lamu.
Now, growing up, we all have, you know, someone that we look up to, and you're like, I want to be like Jeff Koinange. I want to get to the level where, you know, I'm a brand where I can probably be called to MC an event and I can demand for probably 6 figures. So, growing up, who are you looking up to, and who is that person that you tell yourself every day, I really want to work with this person in the industry, whether it's acting or modeling and all that? Okay.
This is actually a very interesting question, because I've worked with people I was looking up to. My number 1 role model was Foye Wambui. I have looked up to her ever since I think I was like in class 6. Like the first time I just saw her on screen, I just fell in love with how she does it. And yeah, and I finally got a chance to work with her. And not only did I learn so much from her, but it really encouraged me that if she did it, I can also do it. And if her starting was not the same as my starting, then that means my story can also be a very diverse and better story. Yeah, but I've always had 2 role models. It's always been Foye and Lupita.
So it's safe to say the person you look forward to, you know, working with is Lupita.
Yes, Lupita, because I haven't yet worked with Lupita. So yes, Lupita, she's just remarkable. She's just amazing.
Interesting. And just so you know, I just love what she said, because it doesn't matter how you start. It doesn't really matter how you start. What matters is you get going. Your story will not be the same as someone else's story. Your story is unique in its own way.
Yes.
Now, finally, I'm not letting you go before you tell me about the singing part, because you have a very melodious voice.
Oh, the singing part. Okay, so I haven't really ever seen myself as a singer, but you see those talents that you have, but umeikalia, because you feel like this other talent is going to overshadow. So even when I was on set, there are times when they needed people to sing. And even before I volunteer, my director would just be like, Mwende is the one who's singing. So by singing, I use it as, it's the way everyone has a safe haven. Everyone has this thing when they do it, they just feel at peace and it makes them relax and everything. So for me, singing is that. I wouldn't say I do it professionally, but I still do love it. I love singing a lot.
I also do love singing, only that I do it when, in the bathroom. But we wouldn't mind something small, a cappella or something, just something small for viewers. Any. I'm not putting you on the spot, but I mean.
So, what would gosh, okay, it's usually so weird when you're told to sing and you don't have anything to sing.
It's okay, no problem. Now, Mwende, thank you very much for, of course, passing by this particular morning. It's refreshing to see someone as young as you get to the industry, and you are an inspiration to many of the young girls out there who want to do several things, be it a model, be it singing, or be it acting. It's so refreshing, and the fact that you juggle between the three and your studies as well, it's inspiring, and I wish you all the best. You're going far, and you make it. Remember, there's a lad called Keitani who interviewed you one day. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you too.
Well, that was Mwende Kingori here on a Feel Good Friday. We're going on a short break, and I'll be back with more music on the other end. Don't go away.